Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about undenatured protein. If you follow me on Instagram, you may have heard me talking about it, or maybe if you found this channel through one of the cancer groups that I'm in, and maybe you saw me post about how my husband had lost a lot of weight and was battling with cachexia, or perhaps you saw my video on cachexia or cachexia. I don't really know how to pronounce it correctly, but my husband was in that state, which is also known as a muscle wasting syndrome, which is where you kind of become really skinny and lose a lot of weight in a very fast amount of time. So I've talked about the protocol that we did to battle that, and I will link that right here or down below. But in addition to that, I completely forgot to mention another very important thing, and that is protein. I know that protein shakes generally are recommended for anyone who needs to gain weight or lose weight. I mean, they could be great meal replacement shakes, or if you need to gain weight, you can bulk up your muscle by taking a bunch of protein shakes. In our case, when you're undergoing an illness and are losing a lot of weight, protein is essential. So of course we talked to a bunch of people that have battled cancer and are doing well. And one of those people I've mentioned before, he was the one that introduced us to the Kangen water machine, which is right there. And he is one of the ones who had a kidney cancer that there was no treatment for. And so he's a pretty smart dude. I mean, like, he does research. I'm nowhere nearly as capable of doing the research that he does, or understanding all the scientific papers that he reads. But he was the one that introduced us to these guys right here. So this is called an isoline shake made by Isagenix. Let's see if you can see that. This is the one we use in addition to this one. Let's see if you can see that. Okay. So we use the two of these in conjunction with each other, okay? And I'm gonna explain a little bit about why this is so special to us, what is undenatured protein, and so on and so forth. So initially, when we first learned about this stuff, we were just told undenatured protein is best. Here's some studies that our friends sent, which just was like way too much for me to read. And I was like, I'll take your word for it. I can't read the stuff right now, so let's just start it. And we got it and we started using it. I use it as well because I didn't have time to eat. I was just kind of running around, and at that time we were about to go in the hospital, and it was really hard to get nutrition into our bodies. And we were told that it is crucial to up the protein intake as much as possible. So just to backtrack a little bit, taking regular protein for me is almost impossible because I can't digest it. I get bloated. It feels like it's just sitting in my stomach and I'm burping it up for hours. It makes me feel like, okay, I put it in my stomach and nothing's happening, like no digestion. It's just there. And it feels heavy, and I get bloated, and it just doesn't feel good. And so I've always not been interested in protein shakes at all because of that. Even if they're plant-based, I just have had this weird reaction where I just can feel it all throughout the day. Like man, I'm still like tasting this shake 5 hours later. You know, I don't like it. So when we tried this guy, I personally immediately felt not hungry 30 minutes later. Any other shake that I have tried before, I would be hungry again very quickly. With this guy, it lasts about 2 hours for me, like straight up. In addition to the 2 scoops of the isolene, we add the amped because, as our friend had explained to us, it has a combination of many different proteins, in addition, including egg protein, which is also in the undenatured form, and the whey protein, and something else I don't remember. I would have to like double check, but regardless, we would do 2 scoops of the isolene and half a scoop of the amped powder, half a scoop of the amped powder, and make a shake out of that. We would add some ice and maybe some blueberries, which was like really essential at the time because we learned all about the blueberry power to fight cancer and antioxidants and all that jazz. So that was our little shake. And for Philip, I would add some, honestly, I would add some kind of oil to it, whether it was MCT oil or what else did I have at that time? Some flaxseed oil, because I really wanted to increase the caloric intake for him so he could stop losing weight, right? Because that was the issue. It was very hard to stay on top of the weight loss. It was just happening faster than we could eat, than he could eat, you know. And then our friend, the one that explained to us how important undenatured protein is, basically sent us a study, and I'm gonna try to find it, you guys, but as of right now, I only have the information in my head. I will try to contact him to get it, but I'll try. Anyway, he had explained to me that a protein can misfold and therefore be used to become a cancerous cell or be used by the cancerous cells to make more cancerous cells. An undenatured protein, meaning it's in its natural state, cannot be misfolded, therefore cannot be used to make more cancer. So that was like his very short explanation, and obviously very simple terms, not scientific by any means. But I was like, okay, that sounds good. That makes sense to me. That sounds like it's a huge difference, and I'm gonna give it a try. So we started taking the shakes. With these shakes, Philip was able to digest them, and so was I. Like I already said, no gassing, no bloating, and satiety was amazing. As time went on, his digestion got worse, and we were only able to do 1 shake a day, and then after a while we were only able to do half of a glass of a shake a day, but we just kept trying to do as much as we can. And then after a while we could only do half of a glass of a shake for him every other day, just because of the digestion issues and the severe constipation, just all this terrible stuff. Then I came across this ebook, which was a manual for all these ailments and treatments and chemotherapies and how to support the body, and it was by some naturopath, and he had a whole section about chemotherapy and how to support the body and get the toxicity out of your body as fast as possible. And guess what was recommended? Undenatured protein. Not necessarily like isolene, you know, Isogenics brand undenatured protein, but in general it was undenatured protein. And it explained that undenatured protein has this ability to, first of all, it's a full like amino acid profile. From what I remember, it's like 18 amino acids. And if you know anything about amino acids, they work together to make essential nutrients for the body. So that's one very important thing. Anyway, let me try to like simplify all this information in my brain. So basically, Undenatured protein has everything that your body needs in its natural form in order to do the functions that your body needs to do. So let's say you're doing chemotherapy, you're bombing your body with a bunch of stuff, right? It needs to recover, it needs to heal. So this protein has that amino acid makeup, and it's giving it the tools that it needs in order to clean it, to restore it, to build it back up, and to function again and to like get back to normal. So according to this manual, when you're doing chemotherapy, protein is essential and undenatured protein is vital. So those were my findings, okay? We're just sharing what we found. I'm going to try to find this information. I hope I have it. I don't know, honestly. We've moved, everything's all over the place, and I just don't know. But I'm certain that if you Google undenatured protein and chemotherapy, undenatured protein and cancer, undenatured protein, what's so special about it, I am certain you will find a ton of information. So I'm just gonna go ahead and leave it at that, because there's no point in me, stumbling over my words trying to figure out how to explain this. I mean, if you're really interested, you will do the research yourself, which you should anyway. You shouldn't take my word for it. I'm just simply sharing what product we have found, which is undenatured protein and which has worked pretty well for us. Fast forwarding a little bit after that, as Philip started to come out of this muscle wasting syndrome, and we never stopped it, we just would do less of it, less of the shakes. We just kept trying to do it as much as possible, as much as he could tolerate it. As he started to gain weight and feel better and better, we have resumed to taking a full glass every day, which is 2 scoops of isoline, half a scoop of the AMP, and his digestion has gotten much better. At this point, we're still doing oral chemo. Constipation is much better. It's pretty much gone. Obviously, he's putting the weight back on. And overall, from what I've read, it just seems like if you're gonna do protein, like if it's important for you to take protein shakes, I really think that you should take the highest quality one, and this seems to be the ones that we have found. I'm sorry guys that my camera's going in and out of focus. I don't know what it's doing. It's driving me crazy, but whatever. I don't know if it's because of my glasses or what, but it's really being super weird. Maybe I should talk here closer. So I'm gonna make my shake right now and show you guys what it looks like. I will not be using this one though, because I'm saving it for Philip. I will only be using the amped for myself. I will only be using the amped for myself, and I will show you guys how to do it. You can do it in the blender, like a Vitamix or anything, any kind of blender. You don't want to blend it on super high, and you don't want to blend it for too long because you don't want to disturb the molecules of the undenatured process. So, and if you don't have a blender, you could use a frother. So let me show you guys how I will be using the frother. I do have a Vitamix here, but I'm not going to use that right now because it's much easier to just do the handheld thingy. Glass, frother. As I've mentioned before, guys, I am using the Kangen water on the clean water setting, which is a neutral pH of 7.0, and this is how much water I'm using. And I'm just gonna go ahead and open this guy, and I will be doing 1 full scoop for myself of the amped, which is the triple protein. And I will share a link to both of these guys down below. You can read all about it. Isagenix provides a lot of great information about why this is such a great product. And I'm just gonna dump this in the water. Boom. You see that? And I'm gonna take my little frother right here and I'm gonna mix it slowly and gently. It's like a pumping or pulsing. I just kind of do that to get so that it doesn't splash on me and so that it all gets mixed in there. And then at the end, I will turn it on full blast. Now I'm gonna drink my shake. So the amped is much less creamy than the isoline. The isoline almost becomes like a frothy, especially if you're making it with ice. But like I said, I'm only making the amped for myself because I'm hungry right now and I don't want to eat. I want to skip lunch and I want to be full. So I'm gonna wait till dinner to eat with Philip. So I'm gonna have this guy and I'll be good to go until dinner. And I guess that's all, huh? It tastes really good. It's not super sweet, which I love. I hate ridiculously sweet things. And overall, I like it very much and we're very happy with it, and I hope that this video helps you guys as well. I hope that someone's out there needs this information because that's the whole point of these videos. I thank you guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. And don't forget, disclaimer, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a health practitioner. I am simply sharing our cancer journey, the things that we have found and discovered. Along the way, things may change. I may come back and say, hey guys, remember this thing? Well, that wasn't that great, or so on and so forth. That hasn't happened yet, but I'm just saying. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you have a wonderful week. And I'll see you guys next time. Enjoy!